Hello and welcome to my channel. And of course, this is Amukoo, and if you are new to this channel, make sure you subscribe, you comment and hit the notification bell so you'll get notified when I upload a new video. Today we shall be doing self-introspect, keeping the mind in check in order to realize who we truly are. For quite a time, we have been letting the mind to control our being. And I tell you, if you do not keep your mind in check, it is certain that your mind will keep you in check. And when that happens, you'll be under mental slavery. You'll be living life with the hope that, with the belief that you know what you are doing, when actual fact, you only know illusion. You are only acting under the dictates of illusion, which is presented by the mind. And so now, let us ask this question. Do we know our mind? Do you know the difference between yourself and your mind? I believe many people don't know this, and that is why many people are led astray. You want to know the actual you? Then ask yourself, who am I? Begin by asking yourself, who actually am I? Am I this body? Because I know that is what the mind tells you. But are you really that body? You say, this is my life. When you say this is my life, where is your life? Do you actually have a life, or you are life itself? By simply saying, this is my life, you are missing the point. The point there is you are the life itself. We can say this is my body because this body is not you, it's just your possession. You can claim it as yours, but actually it is not you. The individual, the being that actually owns this body is invincible. It cannot be seen. And by understanding this reality is the first step to gaining consciousness and self-realization, self-awareness. Now, over time, based on the society where we grow up, we were never taught to find ourselves. Now it is like this. Observe your mind. Observe the projections of the mind. What actually pops up in the mind. Take a quiet moment for yourself and begin to observe the manifestation, the projections in the mind. What does the mind project? What does it tell you through your thoughts and your imaginations? Detach yourself from your mind. Give it a space. Observe it from a distance. Because if you fail to do so, your mind will observe you and become a dictator to you. And whatever the mind presents to you has been accumulated over years. Years of experience growing up. You've seen a lot of things. You've heard a lot of things. You felt a lot of things. You've seen a lot of things. All these are stored in the memory. All these are stored in the mind. And eventually in life, they begin to pop up in your mind in the form of imagination, in the form of thought, and create certain emotions. But as I'm telling you now, if you give a space between yourself and your mind, see your mind as an outsider, you know, like a mirror in your presence, trying to observe what it presents. You are attached to many things in the world. The mind will tell you, oh, look at me, how am I getting? Look at me, I've not gone to university. I've not got that job. Your mind tells you, oh, look at you. People are looking down on you. And you perceive these things as reality. But they are not real because they do not live in the moment. They are not existential realities. Mind you, whatever the mind presents to you is nothing that is happening in the moment. It might have been from the past or it's a projection for the future. And you are living in that present moment, but yet you are following the dictates of imagination and thought. Look at you in the present situation. Nothing is harming you here. So how do we keep the mind in check? First is by realizing that the mind is an entity on its own, quite different from your being. The mind just pop-ups suggestions. You are there as a conscious being to scrutinize these suggestions, to qualify which must register within you. You are there to choose which thought must register in your mind, which imagination must register in the mind. You are not there to take the projections of the mind for granted. Now your mind will tell you that person hates you. Your mind will tell you someone is gossiping you. Your mind will tell you if you don't get that car, you'll be looked less upon. If you don't put on that clothes, you'll be looked less upon. Was that really true? That could only be true when you are slave to the mind. But if you are the actual master of your mind, you are in a better position to structure the frame of the mind by directing your thoughts and imagination with positive energy. By seeing situations as they are. The being that is in you is never subject to depression. Why are you being depressed? Why are you being sad? Your idea of depression, sadness, anger are all projections of the mind. For once, begin to disagree with your mind. But if you identify yourself as your mind, whatever the mind says, you think it is you that is thinking, then you are on the wrong path. But if you see your mind as an object and you be the subject of that object, then you like control whatever happens within your mind. Whatever comes within the mind will be under your control. And so by doing that, you filter all negative energies. All the things that has been stressful to you, you will eventually realize that they actually don't have the power to depress you. You've only been depressed because you have been a slave to your mind. And so in order to free ourselves from this psychological mess, what we need to do is be in constant touch with your mind. You can be free from these thoughts You see, the mind is always there to deceive you. The mind is always there to play its game, to play a dual person in you, letting you believe that you are that which you are not. This body is yours. But this body is not you. You are life. And don't say this is my life. If you say this is my life, who is that that has that life? And what is the life? The life you are claiming to be your possession is actually you. So it's like the mind is betraying you from knowing yourself. You are nothing but life. And in order to experience the profoundness of the life you are, beyond this physical being, you need to have a proper control over your mind frame. You can only do that when you detach yourself from your mind. Your mind being the object, and you as a life, as a consciousness being the subject, witnessing the activities appearing on the mind, on the frame of the mind, on the screen of the mind, observing which activity is beneficial to you. Because actually in that background, observing the mind, nothing can touch you out there. You are free from the clamping of the mind. You can only observe the mind as an outsider. If you can practice this system of self-realization, you will be externally blissful, and of course that will result to you being externally blissful as well. If I ask you now, why do you want all that money you are yearning for? Why do you want all the education you are yearning for? Why do you want the cars? Why do you want to take trips to abroad? Why do you want power, influence, positions? Why do you want all of that? What's your chief aim of achieving all of that? I guess they bring you happiness. Probably that is why. But in acquiring all these things, could that bring you happiness? Does money, wealth, status, power, does that bring happiness? How many people have you seen who are billionaires and still want more? In your little corner, you think if you have as much as a billionaire has money, you will be happy. Have you asked yourself, therefore, why is it that the billionaire is not happy, he's still chasing for more? Have you interrogated yourself, why is it that a man who has 5 cars still wants 10 cars? A man who has 5 houses still wants 10? The reality is, as long as you are slave to the mind, you will never know what is satisfaction. You will never know what is contention. And you will never know that the truth of happiness lies within you. but just that it takes self-discipline to be happy without anything. Imagine you have everything in this world. What more would you want? Everything that you require, that you wish for, is given to you. What more would you want? Oh, that really happened? Till you lay in your deathbed, would you actually possess all that you want in life? So why are you chasing illusion? I'm not in any way saying possessing money and property is a bad thing. That is not my point. My point here is the absence of them must not bring you depression. The absence of money and things must not make you stress. Because with or without them, you are bound to be happy. Then if you are not happy, what is the purpose of you as a life here on earth? Experiencing stress till your deathbed? Let me say this. A lot of religious clerics have been talking of heaven. We all want to go to heaven. But if you are not happy here on earth, forget about heaven. Because if you are not happy here on earth, you are in total contravention. You are in total conflict with natural law. Which presupposes your happiness with or without material things. Because your source is happiness. Your source as a life is from pure happiness, pure love, eternal blissfulness. But the dream of society over time have deviated our mind. And so all that registers in our mind is the pursuance of external things, material things. Thinking that is just what we need in order to be happy. But if we have been keen observer of our environment and society, we must have known by now that even those who possess more still want more, which means they are not happy. Even those who admire to have more still want more, which is a clear manifestation that they are still not happy. So if your experience in existence, your aim in existence is based on the pursuance of illusion, no matter how much you gather, happiness will not be yours. You want to know why? Because that does not bring satisfaction. What brings satisfaction is knowing your true self. Self-awareness, self-consciousness. Look at this place. The vibe here is natural. You can hear the stream. Creation gave us everything to be happy. But in our blindness in search of material things, we've polluted our mind with vain thoughts and imaginations. Look at the trees. You heard the birds? The birds are tweeting. So you don't want to be the very cause of your own state of depression, your own state of unhappiness, your own state of anger. There is no situation that lasts forever. Even you as a life have a certain amount of time and energy to spend here on earth. And eventually you pass on. So why must you be bothered by situations presented by the mind? Externally, situations are bound to happen. We have no control over them. But what about your perception toward the situations that happen? You are responsible for that. You are responsible for whatever you think and whatever you imagine. Hold no one responsible for that. If you perceive things as they are, without identifying yourself with them, that's a great step to freeing yourself from the drama of the mind. Hope you take this practice into consideration. Once again, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to get more of my uploads. Thanks for watching. Peace.